here we are. Hey everybody, it's Green Bean. Welcome to episode 39 of Greenbean's Jets Pod. And I wish I was in better spirits for you. I do. I'm trying. You guys know by now that I am perpetually attempting to see things through the constructive and objective lens. You know this about me. But I'm sad to say, this one's tough. This is a tough week. You know, somebody actually texted me and said, I can't wait to hear your take on the positives of this week. Yeah, you know, saying, hey man, please help me out, because it was rough. But I got to tell you, buddy, I said to him, I'll work on it. I'm trying. I'll get to it. And I've been racking my brain. I have. Very few positives for today. Guys, look, the Jets are having trouble right now. We know this. The New York Jets are not where we'd hoped they'd be right now. So we're going to get into it. Look, there's a bunch of obvious stuff that we know, and I'm going to get all that out right in the beginning. All the things that we've been saying for a month, for 2 months, for 3 months, about why it is that the Jets are going to be sloppy, why it is that the Jets are going to have a hard time. We'll get all that out right in the beginning. I promise, okay? That's going to help us set the landscape, set our foundation for the real problems of this New York Jets team of 2021, the brand new, fresh organization packed full of young fellas. Excited, high character, blue collar, lunch pail types. We have all that going on, and we're going to lay it all down. Before I get there, I want to ask you a favor. I want to ask a question. Have you ever wondered how you can support guys like myself even more than you are? It's really easy. The first thing I'd like you to do is subscribe right here, like this video if you like what you hear. You can even go a little bit further and support me on Patreon. All the information is right below in the description. If you have an extra minute and you're looking for something great to do, head over to Full Time Coaster Tour on YouTube. That's where I'm traveling around this country with my family with the attempt of riding every single roller coaster in the country. And guys, if you just can't get enough Jets talk, head over to Jetnation.com. It's the place to be. More going on over there than you've ever imagined. If you haven't been, I assure you, it's everything that I'm saying. So, now that that's out of the way, I want to just thank you guys. We hang out all the time, all week long, and then we do the live streams for the games over at Jetnation's YouTube page. And there was a whole bunch of us in there this week, and it was all we could do. It was all we could do to keep each other afloat. Honestly, by the end, I was pretty much a solo operation trying to keep people positive because let me tell you, it was bad. This was a bad week, guys. Now, we lost to Carolina in Carolina. We all went to the game on the home opener against the New England Patriots, and we saw one of the larger duds that I've ever seen in that stadium. And look, I've seen some of the greatest duds in Jets history. I have. I was there. As many of you were. I know this. But that was one of the larger duds that we've ever seen. 4 interceptions by Zach Wilson. A team that couldn't get out of their own way. 6 total points. Bad play calling. Drop passes. Penalties. The whole thing. And what we were looking at, one of the things I was really excited to see in Denver was this. Zach Wilson and Corey Davis really had a great connection week 1. I was hoping that they would meet up with the running game of week 2. The offensive line progress, maybe that would continue another tick or two. And we would see an actual football team. We would see a competitive game where we had something to be excited about. That's what I thought. That's what I hoped. But I'm sorry to report that did not happen. As a matter of fact, what I saw was a complete regression. I didn't see very many positives at all. Look, we're talking about a team with a rookie head coach, a rookie offensive coordinator, starting 7 rookies, 3 more rookies contributing, 3 second-year players playing large roles for us. So there's a lot there. Add to that, we've had injuries to some really key players. Corey Davis, Vinnie Curry, Jared Davis, Ronald Blair. Half of our defensive line rotation is not on the field. We've seen injuries to LaMichael Pirine, to Jamian Sherwood, and on and on and on. Jamison Crowder now. So, there's a lot of that. And you could literally point to that and be okay with losses. I know I could. I could be okay with losses, considering everything I just laid out. It's hard to allow, without saying anything, a complete lack of competitiveness, a complete lack of the quality that you would expect from professional football players. Now, like I said, there's lots of reasons for us to lose. There's lots of reasons for us not to be able to close out games, right? Lots. I just named a whole bunch of them. Add to that, we lost a major component of our offensive staff in Greg Knapp's passing. This team's been through it. And this is why when you're the coach or even a member of the New York Jets in any capacity, you don't talk and say things like, we relish adversity. That's when you find out what a man's really made of. No, we don't talk like that. Remember the Smash Bros? Remember all that? Remember everything? We can't do that here. You can't. Because the Jets' orb of consciousness, this negative ball that surrounds this franchise, will get you. Now, even that put aside, let's say the Jets curse is even reaping through our fields. Okay, it's all out there. I still expect to see an actual professional football team. So there are some problems. There are problems, and I'm sorry, guys. I can't bring you another positive video today. I mean, I could find a couple, I'm sure. I could find a couple. Quinnen Williams, a sack and a half today. He also had an additional tackle for a loss, right? C.J. Mosley's running around, still looking pretty good. How about that hit? Boom, on the goal line. Yeah, they scored a second later, so what does it mean? It was great. It's not enough. So we do have little tiny sprinkles of positivity, but man, is it outweighed by the problems. So I'm going to take a look at what the problems really are, okay? Now, we'll go through this, and we'll see. And how much can we endure? How far can we take this? And where and when and how is it going to change? Because I'm going to tell you, this is hard. This is hard for us. 2-14 last year. After the year before that. After the year before that, 3-13, and the year before. You know what I mean? It's been forever, man. And I'm all about giving benefit of the doubt. So here's how bad we really are. All right, let's do this. We are 0-3 for the third consecutive year, which is the worst in Jets history. It's the worst start we've ever had. 3 consecutive years of 0-3. We're currently averaging 6 points a game when we put all those resources into offense. Okay? Put tons of resources into offense. You know this. We're scoring an average of 6 points per game. We now have had 8 quarters without an offensive touchdown. Now, what an interesting way to say it, right? Because it's not like our defense is scoring touchdowns. We haven't had a touchdown in 8 quarters, guys. And so it's game 3. So if you say we haven't scored in 8 quarters and it's in the middle of the season, it could at least be like, all right, we're in a dip. No, this is it. This is our season. We have had 8 quarters without a single touchdown. We've been outscored 46-3 in the first half this year. We've watched 46 points, and we've come back with a hot field goal in response. We have not led one time this season. We haven't done this for 2 consecutive seasons. Not one lead in the first 3 games. This is the first time since 1966 that has happened. You remember, that's before Namath's Super Bowl victory, which is obviously a long, long time ago. 1966. Did we even land on the moon yet? I don't even think we landed on the moon yet, guys. So we didn't even have astronauts the last time that happened, and here we are. So that's how bad we really are, guys. That's what we're looking at here. Now, what are the problems? How does this happen? How do we get here? Well, problem one, whoosh, dropped passes. I'm going to tell you right now, there is no way that a team can succeed with the amount of dropped passes that we are seeing. I got to be honest with you, I do not recall a single Jets team that has dropped as many passes as we've had in the first 3 weeks. We dropped 6 passes against Denver. 6! Corey Davis had 2 or 3 of those. Michael Carter had just a terrible drop while we were driving. Ty Johnson had a terrible drop. Berrios had a crazy drop, went into the other guy's hands on the other team. So this is consecutive weeks that we're looking at Zach Wilson like, oh, this guy, did we make a mistake? Sam Darnold, Zach Wilson. Dude, he's hitting people in the hands and chest, and they can't seem to catch it. And they're bouncing off of our players and going into the defensive back's hands. And he's getting charged for what? A pick. Ty Johnson heard footsteps today. Michael Carter left before he caught the ball. Now, I could forgive a drop. You can forgive a drop. I mean, it sucks. You can forgive a drop, but not when it's systemic, and not when it's the same guy dropping passes consistently. Corey Davis is a downright problem right now. I don't know what's going on with that guy. I don't. But this is bad. Last week, interceptions were because of his drops. This week, we lost first downs, drives were dead, all that stuff on Corey Davis. He's supposed to be our number 1 receiver. He was our big name offensive free agent this year. And he's not known for dropping passes. Sure, he's had his drops, but that's not his thing. What is it here? What is it that Corey Davis came to the Jets and all of a sudden forgot how to catch? What is this? But it's a problem. Michael Carter, young. Ty Johnson, let's be real here. He's, 3 steps away from being a Jag. We know this. That's why the Detroit Lions cut him, guys. I have all the hope in the world for Ty Johnson. Electric when he has the ball in his hands at times. But he struggles in pass protection, which has improved slightly. I'll give that to him. He has improved. But he's still a liability in pass protection, and he's now dropping passes. So, guys, we're not going to be able to win with drop passes. It's not happening. So that's problem 1. And it's real. Okay? I can't remember a time when I've seen this. I can't remember it, guys. Number 2, the defense is on the field too long. It's interesting because our defense is where most of the rookie starters are. We have Jamian Sherwood, Hamza Nasruddin, Michael Carter II, and Brandon Eccles, all on the defense. Plus, there's the second-year players, Bryce Hall, Javelin Guidry, Bryce Huff. That's where those guys are. And it's where the lion's share of our big injuries happened. Jared Davis, starting linebacker, out. Carl Lawson, starting defensive end, out. Vinny Curry, starting/rotational defensive end, out. Ronald Blair, rotational defensive end, out. Jamian Sherwood just got back today. It's like that's where most of the injuries are taking place. And where most of the rookies are. Yet the defense is actually the bright spot right now. They are fighting their asses off. They're on the field way too long. Because why? Because of drop passes? Right? Because of all the issues on offense. But I'm going to tell you right now, it can't continue. It's not going to be sustainable. And you know what starts to happen, guys? When the defense ends up having to bail out the offense week after week after week, they're playing tired, they're playing injured, they're playing hurt, they're playing with no hope of the offense doing anything. They get a big turnover and the offense goes up in 3, down in 3. You know what starts to happen? Resentment, split team, all that sort of stuff. I don't care what the team's made of, guys. It can be made of blue collar, high character, everything. 8-10 weeks of this, The defense on the field. Dude, the first quarter in New England, the defense was not on the field 4 plays of the entire first quarter. Yeah? You tell me. So that has to change. The defense is playing hard. Of course they're going to make their mistakes. We saw Brandon Eccles get taken to school today a little bit. We saw Bryce Hall give up some plays today. Still played well overall, but he gave up some plays too. You're not going to, these rookies and second stringers, they're not going to be able to hold it together. Defense has to be given some relief. Now let's talk about a little deeper why it is that the defense is on the field so long. Problem number 3. Our offensive game plan is downright terrible. Now let's look at these comparisons between Sam Darnold and Zach Wilson. Here's why Sam is succeeding and Zach is not. Because Matt Rule and Joe Brady are protecting him with the game plan. What do you see Sam doing? Dump offs, short, quick passes, not giving the defense enough time to get to him. Because why? When they get to him, he gets rattled and then he becomes inefficient. He becomes erratic. So what are they doing? They know this. They know this about him. He came to us damaged. He came to us having been beaten up and with no support for 3 years. So what are they going to ask him to push the ball downfield all day? No. Of course not. You see Mac Jones, another rookie quarterback in New England. What are they asking him to do? They say he looks great. Yeah, he looks fine. He doesn't look great. He looks fine. Why? Because they're giving him a game plan that protects him. We are doing nothing of the sort. Nothing of the sort. When I'm watching our play design, I'm watching the routes by the receivers. There was one play, and it's the only one I'm going to talk about because I can go on and on and on. There was one play where I think it was a 3rd down, where all 3 of the receivers ended up on the same 5 yards of the field, on the same yard line, bunched up together with the defense around them. I have no idea what that was supposed to be. It looked like the receivers were all doing their job. They all ran to the exact same spot. I have no idea what Zach Wilson was supposed to do with that ball. None. I see very few high percentage plays. As a matter of fact, there was one drive today where we did quick slants all the way down the field. Quick slants, quick outs, a little screen, a little check down, and we drove down the field. Then the drops killed it, right? But whatever Mike LeFleur is doing, it's not working. It's simply not working. How about this? 3rd and short, 4th and short. LeFleur has done this consistently in 3 games. He's come out with an empty backfield. Why on 3rd and 2, 4th and 1? Why are you why is our look an empty backfield? Why are we taking away 50% of what we can do? Even if we're 100% going to throw a pass, you can at least keep the defense thinking. At least. He came out with an empty backfield shotgun every time that we were in that scenario. Again, not smart, not helping the quarterback. Maybe he thinks those plays are better plays. Fair enough. But when you have an empty backfield, you're telling the defense we are absolutely passing. The offensive line has had problems. Zach Wilson has had problems. You're letting the defense pin their ears back and come get you. That's what you're doing, and that's what happened. I'm not sure why we're doing that. But again, it goes back to poor play design. In the Denver game, we ran the ball 12 times for 43 yards. 12 times for 43 yards. I don't know why we're abandoning the running game so quickly, but it's not a way to win in this league, especially with our offense. We are taking every ounce of the pressure and placing it squarely on Zach Wilson, our rookie quarterback that we're supposed to be bringing up slowly. Remember when we said we're going to lift you? That's not what that is. We are not lifting this man. We are placing extra pressure on him by abandoning the run game. 12 rushes all day. with two backs. We have a two-back rotation, 12 rushes. I think 8 of them or 9 of them were Michael Carter, and the other 3 or 4 were Ty Johnson. There's no creativity. There's nothing. And Mike LeFleur has had a complete inability to get the ball into his playmakers' hands in space. Can't do it. He has not been able to do it. We saw a jet sweep today with Elijah Moore. I think it was 1. He ended up getting hurt on the end of it. We have no idea how to get that ball in Elijah Moore's hands. I'm going to tell you right now, if Elijah Moore was on the Steelers, on the Patriots, on the dude, he'd be lighting up the league. An offensive coordinator's job is to highlight their players' strengths, right? It's to protect the weaknesses, cover them up. When you have players like Elijah Moore, Michael Carter, hell, even Keelan Cole and all these other guys, you have to be able to design plays to free them up so they can be in space to get going. I've seen nothing of the sort. I have seen no ability to do that. In my opinion, LeFleur is in over his head. Now, look, guys, he's a first-time offensive coordinator, right? We know that. But as an offensive coordinator, you have to know at least a few things. One is protect your quarterback. Number 2, you got to know how to get the ball into your playmakers' hands. You got to do it. LeFleur has not been able to do that. In my opinion, he doesn't know how. He can't figure it out. Whatever the defense are doing, he's got no answers. So that's when I talk about problem 3 being poor offensive game plan, that's squarely on LeFleur. LeFleur, Kavanaugh, Calabrese, John Benton are offensive guys. Miles Austin. So the game plan that we're showing up with is bland from the word go. We did start with a nice 10-yard pass today to Corey Davis. He was blanketed in coverage, wasn't really open, but nice pass, nice catch, all that sort of stuff. But right there, everything pretty much died. The game plan is not helping the talent on the roster. And let me remind you of something. There is talent on this roster. Guys like Elijah Moore, Michael Carter, Corey Davis, even Keelan Cole, and I'm not even getting to the guy we got on the sideline. They are talented. Berrios, he's a talented guys. They can play in the NFL. It's the play design, guys. So LeFleur, in my opinion, needs a real talking to, guys. Salah's he has to sit down with this man. I know he's your best friend's little brother. I get it. I know you have tons of history with the guy. I get it. But dude, there's some point in the game where you got to look at this guy and tell him some stuff. All right. Now look, when we were doing the live stream, I try to remain positive the whole time. As you guys know, I'm fighting with guys almost. I'm like, no, you got to think of this. Don't forget this. I'm doing that for 3 hours today. Toward the end of the game, I couldn't handle it anymore. I couldn't. I just couldn't. I couldn't watch what I was watching and not say something. So take a look. This is a little clip from the live stream during the game on Jetnation's YouTube page. Take a look at me losing my marbles just a smidgen, just a little bit. On the other hand, why don't you run over there to that little offensive powwow on the sideline and say, I've had it. I've had it. You guys go grab a shred of pride and go out there and beat somebody. One time. Get a friggin' touchdown on the board. I'm sick of it. We're going to run gassers the entire week. Gassers and jugs. That's it. And I'm going to take the defense out for ice cream because you guys are torturing them. What do you think? Think that would do anything? What do you think? You know, would that help? That's what I would do. I would fucking be screaming my face off. I would walk over to LeFleur. I'd grab him by his shirt collar and say, hey, don't make me punch you square in the face in front of all these people. I will break your face, kid. What do you think? Think that would help? You better, on 3rd and 1, you better have a running back in that goddamn backfield. What is this? 3rd and 1, quick slant, just boom. What is the matter? That's what I'd say. Sorry, I've dropped the facade. Problem number 4. Here we are. We're already almost done, guys. Don't worry. We're going to get through it. Problem number 4, undisciplined, too many penalties. That is no way to run a team. In the past couple weeks, we've seen face masks, late hits, unnecessary roughness, unsportsmanlike conduct. What's the deal with Justin Hardy? This is the second time he got called for a penalty on coverage duties. What's the deal, duder? Why are you yapping in someone's face like that? The NFL told everybody, we are clamping down on unsportsmanlike stuff. We're clamping down. So why are you doing it? We have holdings. We have, chop blocks. When's the last time you heard a penalty for a chop block? Right here. Right here. That's the Jets this year. So, guys, the penalties and undisciplined football, guys choosing to yap and all that kind of stuff and get unsportsmanlike, that is a derivative of lack of discipline. Okay? Now, look, I'm not even throwing anybody under the bus yet. What we're talking about is what the problems are. Currently, they are acting as an undisciplined team when people are missing their assignments, when people are dropping passes, when there are penalties. This is a lack of discipline, fundamentals, mindset. It's all going out the window. I mean, clearly, I think there were 8 penalties today, right? So clearly we have a whole bunch of stuff we could talk about. But let's just talk about the one. Let's talk about the delay of game on the 56-yard field goal that Matt Amendola actually made. A 56-yard field goal. Get us some points. Wipe the goose egg off the board at least. At least. Nope. Delay of game penalty. Guys, that's like the bottom layer. That's the bottom layer of erosion. Delay of game penalties when you're lining up for a 56-yard field goal, dude. It's an indicator. Okay, the lack of discipline is a problem. Now, look, I know Saleh is a motivator. I know he loves to be there for the guys, all that sort of stuff. But what I'm looking at right now, Saleh has to address all of these issues, and that's what's going to bring us to problem number 5. It all comes down to the coaching. Now, I want to make sure that I tell you, remind you that this whole thing is being led by a first-time head coach with a first-time offensive coordinator, and they happen to have a first-time quarterback. I don't know how many times that concoction has been utilized. I don't know. It's definitely happened before, and I don't know how well it fares. But when that is the case, certain considerations must be made. You got to play safer. You got to be extra cautious. You got to err on the side of caution. The offensive coordinator, when it's not going well, Saleh, you got to talk to him. Hey, man, what the hell are you doing? Why are you pushing the ball downfield? That one drive with the short hops, it worked. Do it again. Get Zach in a rhythm. Use the running game. How about some play action? Some jet sweeps. Get Elijah Moore running. Use his speed. Get him open in space. He's got to talk about this stuff with him. Now, and here's the thing. When you have an undisciplined team that's ineffective and we're getting penalties and all those types of things, this is when the benefit of the doubt that you try to give to somebody, making personnel decisions, you try to give them benefit of the doubt. You don't like the decision, but you give them benefit of the doubt. This is when that deteriorates. Maybe they're not so wise and they're working on Denzel Mims' long-term career goals. Maybe they just don't know what the hell to do with him. Maybe they just, quite simply, don't know how to use a 6'3", 4.38 speed, high-pointing, hands-catching, blocking dynamo. And he's sitting on the sideline wearing sneakers and shorts. Or whatever he's wearing. I don't know what he's wearing. The benefit of the doubt that I was working really hard to give them It's hard, guys. It's hard. Don't forget, they started Tevin Coleman over Michael Carter, and Ty Johnson for that matter. They started George Fant over Morgan Moses. So there, you start to see something. It starts to paint a different picture. You know, I'm trying to give everybody benefit of the doubt. I support the team. I'm totally aware of our situation and what this year really is. It's an evaluation year. I get it. But this is a problem. And I want to remind you, I'm not throwing anybody under the bus. I'm not saying anybody sucks. I'm telling you where the problem is and what has to be fixed. When a guy like Corey Davis has as many drops as he had, he needs to be accountable. You got to remind that man, Corey, sit the hell down. You got to sit down. Mims, get in there. Keelan Cole was a ghost all day long until the end when they went into prevent. And then all of a sudden, Keelan Cole's open all over the place. Where is he? Is Zach just not looking for him? Or is he just not open? He's a ghost. He's a figment. Denzel Mims, as we know, when he comes in the game, he makes an impact. Now, it's a short sample size, of course, small. We know. But every time he gets on the field, he gets open, he makes catches, and he gets yards after the catch. Oh, and by the way, he blocks on running plays, blocks effectively. So when a guy like Corey Davis is having problems like he is, where's the accountability? This is where discipline comes in. No, across the board. Across the board. Dude, you have 6 drops. Sit down and figure it out. So the benefit of the doubt that you give guys, when you're seeing guys messing up and there's no accountability, and then you have guys sitting on the sideline or inactive, all that sort of stuff, it all starts to paint a different picture. And that is a problem. It's a problem because you're going to lose the faith of everyone around you. What do you think? The players don't know how effective Denzel Mims is? They're watching Corey Davis drop the ball. They're watching Michael Carter drop the ball. Why isn't Josh Adams in? Why isn't LaMichael Pirine playing? Get the other guy the ball. It's got to be that way. And this is where accountability, discipline, those types of things have such an impact. You just say flat out, you're dropping passes, sit down. Every man will know. Every man will know. That's right, I dropped 6 passes. Now I'm paying for it. I better stop dropping passes. If there are no repercussions, if there's no accountability, what motivates someone to change? Saleh wanted adversity. Well, he got it. It's all over the place. Because, guys, this is a pivotal moment. We are 0-3. And it would be fine if we were 0-3 and we were scoring 2, 3, 4 touchdowns a game. Fine. I'm totally fine with 0-3. Who isn't? Zach's progressing. The offensive line's getting better. We just couldn't hold them in the fourth quarter and they got a field goal. Or, hey, man, they just outscored us. A great offense. Whatever it is. That's fine. We can deal with it. But not this. We have an undisciplined team that lacks creativity and effort. We're not doing the basic things. The basic things. Like catching the ball. Like not grabbing someone's face mask or whatever it is. And some of those penalties, with respect, I think are complete crap. All right? The Shaq Lawson roughing the pass. Dude, come on already. What is this world? I'll put that aside. So, you know what I mean? There is breathing room here. But here's one last example on why it is that I think there may be fractures in the dam. Greg Van Roten, in his post-game presser today, pointed out that Zach Wilson needs to learn how to throw the ball faster. Now, he didn't say it like he wasn't pointing fingers per se. It didn't come out like that. But it's still the kind of comment that you'd rather see kept in-house. He's throwing his quarterback out front. Now, he also added at the end, we got to block better, all those things. Damn right you got to block better, Greg Van Roten. If there's anybody having issues, bud, it could be the first signs of fracturing. Saleh, this is where we need you to be the Robert Saleh that we brought in. Okay? Now, guys, again, rookies, first-timers, all that stuff, injuries, everything. It's all real, and it's all part of it. And again, I'm not one saying Zach sucks. I'm not saying Saleh sucks. I'm not even saying LeFleur sucks. What I am saying is we have some problems, and they must be addressed. And it's going to all whittle down. It's all going to come down to one man, and that is Robert Saleh. At some point, you pick the players and you turn them over to the coaches. And that's what's it. The talent is here. Maybe not to go to the Super Bowl. It's not what we're saying. But the talent to score a few touchdowns is on the field. The defense is playing well enough that if you score a few touchdowns, they can keep you in the game. They're playing. It's not gonna be able to continue this way for 2, 3, 4 more weeks and hope to keep the team together. Now, Saleh said today, I've never been on a team that everybody just tossed in the hat and gave up. Yeah? You never been on the Jets, buddy. You never been here for the weight of losing in this town. So please stop underestimating what it is the problem is here and get to work. Don't just think we're going to stay the course and figure out the way through it. Something needs to change. We need to be more aggressive in our attempt to change. Not more aggressive on the field. We must, actually, I think quite the opposite. I think we need to be smarter on the field. You need to protect this kid. Zach Wilson's already a different quarterback than he was in the preseason. Already. What does he have, 15 sacks in 3 games, dude? Come on. And they're not all the line's fault. It's everybody's fault. Drop passes, 15 sacks, everything. Fumbles, it's all in there. But it backs up to one thing. We need to adjust what we're doing and maybe try to get the guy that's sitting on the side, probably the most talented receiver we have on the team. Probably. Why don't you use him? Why don't you use the players that you have? We have a roster. Use it. It's not like Keelan Cole is lighting up the world. Let's try it. Think outside the box, Robert Saleh. I believe that we can turn this around. I do. I know we're gonna. I feel confident. But it's absolutely impossible not to talk about these problems where we are right now. Today may have been the worst game I've seen. I don't know. Last year was terrible, but it was not good. Okay? Let me say it like that. I'm going to be keeping my head up. I know I am. I'm going to keep my head up, and I'll be rooting for them against the Titans next week. I can't wait to see C.J. Mosley lay the wood on Derrick Henry. Yep, that's what I said. I can't wait to see it. But Robert Saleh, you must get your team in order. You must. Please stop underestimating the magnitude of this problem and the sinkhole that you're standing on the edge of. Please stop underestimating this. It's going down the drain. It'll happen fast here. Tighten up. So there you have it. What do you think, Jets fans? Am I being melodramatic? I'm still positive. I promise. I am. It's exciting watching these young guys. This week was tough. Keep your heads up. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if there's something I missed. That's the way I see it. Those are the 5 largest problems with the New York Jets as it stands right now. And let's watch our turnaround this week and see what our team does in response. His presser was tough. Saleh's presser was tough. But let's see what happens. Have a great week. I'll talk to you soon, I'm sure. And go Jets.